Hey, Toria here, and it's my pleasure to share this time with you. I want to start off by asking you a question, and that question is, did you come here on this earth? Did you come to earth to experience life or avoid life? Did you come here to experience life or to avoid life? You see, this question for me was so powerful because it changed the way that I looked at everything. I've fallen down in life and I thought, you know what, I'm so sick and tired of falling down. I'm just gonna lay here. Y'all pass me up. Here you go. I don't even want to do that. I don't even want to do this. And this is something that can happen to people, and they can get stuck in this pattern for the rest of their life. And on their deathbed, does it hit them? Wow, I really should have lived life. I really should have done what was wanting to come through me, what was wanting to be expressed, but I had all of these fears. I thought that this wasn't going to work out, whatever the excuse may be. Go into this next space, excuses, what was happening outside, out there, that's the reason why I couldn't do it, circumstances, etc. I want to share with you 4 stages of evolutionary growth. There are 4 stages of evolutionary growth. Of course, there could be many more, but they've been broken down into 4 stages so we can get a feel for where we're at. When there's 4 stages, it's a little bit easier to keep them in mind and then to know where you're at. Why do you want to know where you're at? Why would you need the evolutionary growth formula? Why would you want to know this? Because if you don't know where you're at, you'll never know where you're going to go. You'll never have a destination. Your life will feel less important, less exciting, less, that space. I heard something the other day and it said, if you're going to rise and shine. And that spoke to me. I actually was laying in bed this morning. I had about 20 more minutes until my alarm was going to go off and tell me it was time to get out of bed. I was laying there and I just heard that space. If you're going to rise and shine. So I was able to gather myself up and I'm like, yes, let's go shine it out. Let's do this. So here we are. We're talking about something that we've wanted to do, but we've fallen down so many times. We have all of these circumstances, people in our life. We have areas that we have found that we can place the blame. But what happens to us is when we put the blame outside of ourselves, whether it's, it was because of COVID, it was because of my partner, it was because of the circumstance with my job. When we do that, we're placing ourselves in what they call victim consciousness. That's stage 1 of the 4 stages of evolutionary growth. There's something also very important for you to understand. These 4 stages of evolutionary growth, they're not linear, which means you don't just go from stage 1 to stage 2 to 3 and then 4. It doesn't happen that way. You can be in stage 1 and then you can make a choice to go to stage 4. And then maybe you're out at the supermarket and you get bumped and you're back into stage 1. So now that we know that there's 4 different stages and we got to take a look at the victim consciousness that we see, that we experience, every human, I'm sure, has experienced victim consciousness. And what we want to do when we are experiencing a victim state is we want to come back to ourselves. We want to take full responsibility for the moment. We want to get present within the moment. So when a situation happens and you feel like, well, that person's to blame, or if you have an excuse why, right? If you see yourself pointing your finger at why these things happened, we're putting ourselves in a victim state. And what ends up happening, which is the next unfoldment of the share that I want to share with you, is this victim state doesn't feel good. And for some people may want to, let's call it medicate, but let's call it actually soothe. Some people want to soothe this space. When they've fallen down so many times, they're like, I am tired. I'm not ready to get up. I'm ready to just lay here. Let the next thing come all over me. You know, it's just, and you run out of that juice. And so what happens? This soothing mechanism comes in. This soothing mechanism can be your food intake. You may just take in a bunch of food and say, oh wow, that cheesecake actually, that I can't believe I ate that whole cheesecake, but wow, did it soothe this inner pain inside of me? Or for other people, maybe they're like, you know what? All of those people out there, all of this is happening. Again, we're in that victim consciousness. When we're pointing that, maybe they're like, I'm going to go and I'm going to take some control. I'm going to take some control and I'm going to go wild on my credit card and I'm going to shop till I drop. Some of you shoppers out there, you know what I'm saying, right? Exactly. Okay, so let's take it a step further. And this step further, and we're still in this bubble, so don't go out of this bubble. We're talking about the overeaters who need soothing. We're talking about the shoppers who need soothing from that victim consciousness. They want to take some control. They feel like they're the victim. They take it out. They go shopping. What's happening in these spaces is we are creating unhealthy coping mechanisms for our victim consciousness stage that we're in. Unfortunately, what happens is we then just get stuck in this repetitive cycle. We feel like a victim, we decide to go eat the cheesecake. We come back to whatever. We feel like the victim, we go get the cheesecake, we come back to whatever. What's happening is when we are in a victim state, in this space of needing some soothing, and we decide, okay, I am going to try that. I'm going to go do my shopping experience. Let's say that you do that one time. Well, what happens is, and maybe you get this amazing dopamine, you know, this chemical that goes off in your brain that is like, whoa, that was an awesome rush. That was some good time. So you get this. And so what happens is our eyes are viewing our circumstance, okay? And our brain is also working for us. So we have eyes that work for us, we have a brain that works for us, but we are the boss of this center. But sometimes our brain, our mind, that ego space, it knows how to manipulate us or work with us. You know, it's trying to help us, but it's not really that much help. Let's go here a little bit deeper. This victim state, our eyes see something, our mind registers something, and it tells our body to act. So when we're in a victim state and our mind sees, oh wow, she's there again. Our mind, because it's just our friend per se, our mind's gonna say, go shop till you drop, go max out that credit card, girl. I'm gonna tell you, last time you did it, you felt great. You got a great rush of dopamine. Remember that? Great. So there is this space in our mind that's gonna tell us, hey, go do that. You're gonna feel much better. But if you keep doing that same spiral over and over again, like how many cheesecakes can you eat till you make yourself sick, right? How many times can you go shopping until you're just like, I am sick and tired of shopping? I know, right? Well, maybe the shopping is something a little different. No, I'm just kidding. Too much of anything is too much. And maybe you get that too. That's how I feel about it. So I just want to hone this in for a moment. When we are feeling like a victim, things happen. We take turns in life that maybe we wouldn't have taken if we weren't in that victim state consciousness. I'm not saying that victim consciousness is bad. What I'm saying is get aware, learn these stages, which we're going to continue to do as we go forward, but learn these stages, the 4 stages of evolutionary growth. And the first one is that victim consciousness, stage 1. When you get to really understand these stages, you're going to find yourself in a place such as when you find something troublesome and you find yourself wanting to point the finger, and then that mind is like, let's grab the purse and let's get to the mall. There's something that can happen, and that something that can happen is you can take responsibility for your life. You can say to yourself, And this is somewhere where I have struggled, and this is why I want to really lay this serious for you. I want to tell you to be very gentle with yourself. Be gentle with that thought that says, hey, let's go max out the credit card. Well, maybe you've maxed out all your credit cards and you're like, that was the stupidest idea. Don't be telling me that. We have to be careful. We have to say, you know what, mind, thank you so much. You know what, you're right. I had a great dopamine rush that time that I did that. I just let it loose. But I understand that it's not serving me. I hope that this is landing for you. I hope that you can see that in victim consciousness, in stage 1, it's not as easy to choose to take command of your life, to be in the driver's seat per se. Victim consciousness makes it feel like, well, it's everybody else. It's all of those reasons why. And it makes us feel even more stuck where we're at. And so I want you to just catch yourself. Where is it when you get stressed? Where is it? What is it that your mind says, oh, girlfriend, go out, go make yourself a nice vodka soda, you know? Where is it in your life that you get stressed? And see where you go. Do you go with, you know what, actually, I can handle this. I've got this, and I'm going to find a way to make this happen. Or do you say, I don't even want to play, it's because of that, I quit, etc. If we continue to point our finger out there, we are going to continue to shut down in here. We are going to continue to be exhausted in this space. And so that is for today's video. It is simple as this. If you're pointing your finger, if you have an excuse, if you have a reason, if you're doing that, you're in a state of victim consciousness, and not a lot of great things happen. And actually, habits, bad habits, addictions, I'm circling these spaces because this is where these spaces come in, okay? I'm going to leave you with one more thing. We're going to continue to take a look at these areas. Maybe it's the cheesecake, maybe it's the shopping, or maybe it's something bigger. But you know what? We all have our experiences here in the state of victim consciousness. And so some of us may have gotten the tools at an early age to be able to take themselves and continue to go up. And we're going to talk more about these. Instead of these circles going around and around and around, we're going to talk about going up. We're going to spiral up. Have you ever seen that? That circle, and then boom, they spiral up into the next. This is what we're going to do, but we're starting here in victim consciousness because we need to get clear. Victim consciousness, it is a stage, it is a state. You don't have to be there, but it's very easy to get stuck if you continue to listen to the mind that tells you, go get that cheesecake, go do that shopping, go get that vodka soda. If you continue this, you will be stuck in a circle. You will feel like life is not even worth it. You will not even know why you should rise and shine each day. And so that is what we're going to be talking about here on my channel of Sacred Sexy You. Join me as we journey through into the whole new you that's right here and ready to rise and shine.